Guys, welcome back to another adventure of Overpower. I said it backwards.
Overpower Adventures.
There we go. Good to see you. Hey, Howard's in the chat already. Good to see you, Howard. There's AJ. Hi, AJ.
Sean.
Get my...
Got a couple Canadians in the chat already.
Hey, Sean, the Invisible Muse, is watching. Tonight's episode is going to be about answering some questions on how cards are played or not played. We've been getting a lot in our Facebook group chat or group page about a lot of questions. How does this card play? What's the ruling on this? Hey, Sean. Sean, are you coming? Is he coming? Sean, you coming to the cup?
Not that I'm aware of.
Come on. You're back in the States now, right? Yeah. All that paperwork filed and you're cleared, right? A lot of people ask in the Facebook Overpower page about rulings. And usually you get good rulings, get good answers. And we hash some things out. Some disagreement, but we all agree that this is what the ruling is normally. Sean says I'm practically invisible. Boy, you're right. I am. I just looked on screen.
He will be August 25th and 26th, it looks like.
Sean will not be in Columbus. Sorry, buddy. What do they call it? Negative space. I look like that negative space. My black jacket just melts right into that background. Whoa. We'll fix that. We got some lights coming on here shortly. Just trying to get used to the time changing, the sun going down a little bit faster and all that kind of stuff.
Marcel said he's got us on the big screen.
Marcel said what? Where did he say that? I'm not seeing anything from
He
Marcel.
sent me a text.
Oh, let's see. Marcel, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for taking up for me on the web page, or on the Overpower group page.
Huh?
Yeah, he didn't. I just saying.
Just want to make him feel good for a minute.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the OP Cup while we let a few more people chat. One thing we're going to do is Friday, all day long, we're going to be doing some events where four-man teams or four-man events. We get 4 people signed up. I don't know. I was thinking about charging $20, but maybe that's too much. We're going to do them all day. Maybe $10. Yeah. Of course, if you win one, your next 3 are free. The only rule is you're going to play 3 games, 3 different decks. You're going to play all 3 opponents in the event. And whoever comes out on top is going to win the pot, the whole, whatever, whether it's $40 or $80. And we'll do those all day long as soon as 4 people show up and want to play, we'll fire one. There'll be lots of side events, but we'll play. We're going to have the room open at about 10 a.m. You guys can come in and play in one of those 4-man events, or just sit there and have some casual games, practice. I think AJ's coming early so that he can practice after the whipping I put on. Oh, wait a minute, he beat me. AJ's ready. I don't think he needs to practice anymore. I think he needs to stop tinkering.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah, that deck's amazing. I don't want to play AJ till the final game. If I have to play him at all, I want it to be in the finals because I struggle. I think I was 2-5. I was playing Corey's this time. In case you guys didn't know, I misplaced my decks for a little while. So I played Corey's deck that he finished in the top 8 without an OKC. Solid deck. Still had trouble beating AJ. Corey probably could have done better than with it because he's more used to playing with it. He might beat AJ more than I did. I only beat him twice, and one of those times I don't think it was going against that. I was trying something new, and he didn't like the way that one played. I didn't think that he would like the way that one played, but he wanted to try it, and we did. He lost and put it away. It's like,
Howard, we were hoping you would help us out with publishing the data for the Cup, so since you seem to have the
details.
most information with your challenge.
Well, yeah, we'll get a up this week, and it's going to go on the Heroes and Games website. I'll link it in the Overpower group page. We'll have a complete schedule, what it's going to cost, what time things are going to fire, just exactly what we're going to do for the whole 2 days. And like I said, that'll be on the heroesandgames.com. I'll get the link up. Howard, yeah, we definitely want to use the check. We have to, so we can get those rating points. I need to get top 20. What's the proxy rule for open? There's no proxies. This is a real event. What are you talking about? What do you want a proxy?
Yeah,
Your Dazzler hero?
Yeah. I think it depends on what it is.
Okay. Well, Howard had a list of sets, or not Howard. Josh had a list of sets that were not allowed in Kansas City.
Yeah,
or Oklahoma.
He did have a
Are we doing
more
that?
strict rule. I don't want to be that strict. I mean,
Oh, okay.
it's a hard, very difficult card to get. I don't care if the artwork's a little different. I think the opponent could ask what the card is.
Yeah, you guys
But-
are probably going to have to do that. I have to do it a lot because these guys play that.
MOE.
Yeah, the MOE cards and the A-Next.
But we also now have the BMG cards.
Right,
I mean,
the
you're going to have to
BMG,
get used to
which-
different cards anyway.
Yeah. And AJ got me on that one once. He threw one. I don't remember what one it was. And I thought it was the strength one. I thought it was
No, I think that was me.
A-Next.
Yeah, it was
Was that you?
Energy. Yeah.
And the energy looks like strength?
Yeah, it's just a lighter yellow or.
Yeah. So I had 2 hits that were 2 different
Yeah, you thought-
colors and
you
think
thought-
both green.
Yeah, you thought the teamwork and the AX
Yep.
were.
Yep. So, all right, you're good. I don't care. I got to ask anyways. It's like- Doesn't to me.
And we'll try to have
Yes, AJ
as
would
many
have some
normal
good
cards
picks.
as possible, but
I really liked Corey's deck. Not enough that I want to switch to it.
it's a good deck.
It is a good deck. It was fun. I needed to get used to Silver Sable and Devil having those 9 or less avoids. I've never played a deck that has 1, let alone 2 9 or less avoids. 'Cause beyond her White Queen, there's no 9 or less avoids.
No.
And that's the same deck I played for 20 years. I had to put that out there before Marcel did, because you know it's coming. So what is allowed, what is not? Howard asked. You want to sets available?
I mean, to me, that's not a big. I mean, if you have the normal card, use it. If you don't, I guess bring it to our attention. If it's too obscure, then maybe we'll lend you a card
Um,
or 5.
So what card got played wrong to inspire? Sean, are you in a hurry? You got somewhere to be?
He does.
Want
He
us
said he had to
right
get off
into
here at
that?
7:30.
At 7. Thank you, Sean.
He's big time into it.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot, actually. Just so many questions popping up in that Facebook page that we thought we would come on here and maybe get it out to a few more people that weren't reading the Facebook page. We got a list of them. Ricky keeps putting them on. He comes up with all of them, don't he? We're saving the big one for 7:30. Sean, sorry, thanks for tuning in. Sean,
come back and watch it.
yeah, guys are cutting in and out. Is your connection good? That's not good. Are we freezing? We got some great internet in here, usually. How are we looking over there, great producer?
No good.
It's a little slow today. Anything we can do? Anything I need to do? Do we need to turn off anything? Turn on something? Exactly.
Where's the switch?
Actually, AJ, you rocking Morrow for the cup? Yes, he did have Morrow that he used against me, and I went 2-3 against it. Marcel, he wanted to thank you for inspiring that deck. So I guess real quick, Howard, we're going to accept all cards. We're not going to ban anything according to Phil. It's his game. I'm just along for the ride. Um, let's go over some of these rules. Oh, wait a minute. Friday, AJ says Friday, mini tournaments, OP Cup on Saturday. Yeah, well, actually, Friday night we are going to run a no holds barred, unlimited point total. Friday night. I don't know what time that's going to start yet because I'm waiting to hear what time some people are going to be in. I'm hoping to start it at as early as 6 o'clock. If I start at 7, it's going to get really late. And we all have a bit of a drive back to my house that are staying with me, 25 minutes or so. But no bands. DOW returns baby. Oh, that's not the bands we mean. We meant
Talking
sets.
proxies.
Yeah, proxies. Sean always trying to bend and stretch the rules. There will be DOW banned, unfortunately.
The one and only band.
Yeah. I think that's the only card that's banned. We're going to open it up to everything else. You can bring your Power Woman 5 multi-power. That's fine. That's the one you want to use. I think that one was banned out in Oklahoma.
Yeah, it was.
What's that set out of?
I think that's the Babes, I think.
No. Okay.
Or Power Balance, maybe.
Yeah, could be. All right. So I don't see Ricky. I was actually trying to stall till Ricky could get in here since he's the one who asked a lot of these questions.
But he's always on Oklahoma time.
Yeah, right. And he should be driving home. So I was hoping he would pop in. We will get to his big question. Sean, the big one, I want to save it till a few minutes in. And I know you're wanting to know right now. Lambs to the slaughter. It's coming. It's coming. I'll explain it to you here in just a bit. First, let's start with Wonder Woman Scarlet Spider's BQ. Can you put that one up on the camera, Phil? The BQ, any card should mean any card. And be honestly, I forgot to look at that a little closer before we got started. Slide it a little towards Cameron. There we go. All right. What's that card say, Phil?
So this one says, on her turn, Wonder Woman may exchange this card for any one card in dead pile and play it immediately.
Oh,
And I think it's because it says any Wonder
one
Woman.
card, and the ruling is that it has to be
A Wonder Woman card.
a Wonder Woman card. That's interesting. I guess the spirit of the rule is Wonder Woman has to play a Wonder Woman card. Who else has that? Scarlet Spider.
Yeah.
Ah.
Most of the cards that have that code, BQ, typically are getting another character special, so they're not playing their card. So since hers doesn't specify that she's grabbing somebody else's special, it's intended to be for her only.
Interesting. And I guess the ruling right now is she has to go after her own special.
Correct.
And Ricky wants to know why.
That I don't know.
Alright. BQ can only get cards used by said character and also can't be activators or any heroes. Man. I am of the school of thought the card does what it says. If I was making the ruling, I would allow them to get any card. I see nothing in the basic rules that says Wonder Woman would have to go after a Wonder Woman special. It says any card. Wow. That's funny. If it's in the dead pile, she should be able to go get it and play it immediately. Sean says it isn't limited to specials. It can be any card type usable by the character playing it. If it's in the dead pile, but there wouldn't be power cards in the dead pile. There would only be specials and activators. Right? Well, universe cards.
Yeah, teamwork.
Whoa.
She could go get a 6.
She could go get a teamwork and play it, and then teammate follow up? Or would it just be just her?
No, you'd have to have the follow-up.
Yeah. I'm all for that. I think that's what the card says. That's what it should do.
Yeah.
But I guess the ruling is no.
It's only a Wonder Woman.
She's got to
card.
get a Wonder Woman special, which kind of sucks because she doesn't have that many playable
I wanna read that
specials.
again.
Teamworks, yeah, I think she should. I think she
Oh,
should.
it does say any one card, so it could be a teamwork.
Any one card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Universe, artifacts. Artifacts go at the dead pile?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if they don't get played on the character,
Yeah.
they stay in play.
Okay.
So you could go get, well, she couldn't because she's not a 6 energy, but something like Image Inducer or Ultimate Nullifier,
She could
things
get
like
anything.
that. But
She should be able to go get anything in that
yeah,
dead
Pim,
pile.
Pim Particles.
Okay. I'm all for it. Unfortunately, the overpower rules gurus say no. It's got to be hers. Doesn't make sense.
Teamwork Universe Artifact. Yeah.
Yep, I agree. But I think Sean is saying he agrees that that's what it should be allowed to do, but it's got to be of said character. All right. So that one's clear as mud. Now that you know exactly what you're not playing. All right, let's move on to this one. Phil, you want to take the reserve character should be able to use their inherent even when they're in reserve. I thought this one was pretty clear cut. No, they don't get the inherent unless the card says may be played from reserve. The reserve hero is technically not in the game except for events, inherent abilities, and specials that allow them to be in the game.
Can you see that one on your screen, Doug?
He doesn't have that up for me. I can't.
No. Okay, so this one says may play fighting teamworks cards from reserve. So hers specifically says she can play it from reserve.
Yeah, there we go. Now I see it.
Whereas I'm going to put another one up.
Okay, let's put up Invisible Woman, who gets +2 to venture total every battle.
But hers doesn't say from reserve.
Does not say from reserve.
So that's the difference.
That is the only difference. The reserve hero only participates in the battles when allowed through an event, a special, or an inherent ability. I'm not sure why some people would allow the reserve to have their inherent from reserve when they're technically not part of the game yet.
Yeah, they think since some of them work, they should all work. But
Now let's see what Sean says. All inherents are technically active when in reserve, except inherents that add to venture. Those are the only ones I can think of that are deactivated while in reserve. Deathbird is allowed to play power cards from reserve to defend the front line.
yeah, and Velocity can attack with power card while in reserve.
No, Sean, I don't think all inherents are technically active when in reserve. Then why wouldn't the team
So-
get Invisible Woman's +2 to venture total? I don't think that is correct. Oh, you said except inherents that
Yeah,
add to
they
venture
don't.
total. I mean, why are we calling those out? Why are those different? Why are the inherents that add to the venture total different than any other?
I think because they didn't specify from reserve. Like Deathbird says she can play power cards from reserve. Sable says she can play fighting teamworks from reserve. Kingpin says he can play teamworks from reserve.
Yeah, but Beyonder doesn't say he can play.
Yeah, so he couldn't play
From
specials
reserve.
from reserve, right?
All right. Can you
So-
play specials like MF or artifacts on reserve? What's the MF code?
I don't know if that's something.
Or is that a code or is that a short?
We hope that's a code.
Yeah, you never know with Marcel. No, you can't play artifacts on the reserve. The reserve is not in the battle. So unless a card says it can be played on the reserve, it cannot be played on the reserve. I'm going by the official guide of adherence. Don't ask me why. I think it's dumb. Thank you, Sean. I like your honesty.
Oh, so that's like a Spawn's living costume.
Oh,
Or
okay.
a character can play
No.
specials.
It is, the card does not say may be played on character while in reserve, so it cannot be. The official guide to inherent abilities. I don't remember ever reading that. Yes, Vlad, that is who the mage is. So if you had someone like Ghost Rider in reserve and you moved hits to him, does his apparent apply? Yes or no?
Yes. It would still take 4 different icons to be Spectrum. Has to have all 4 power
Does
types.
he die with 3 or 4 icons?
So we get-
Okay. Technically, there's something that's allowing him to be in the battle, which would bring his inherents
Yeah,
into the
there's-
battle with him.
There's events that allow you to shift
Attack the
attacks to
reserve. Right. So at that point, all right. I see that point. That's a good point. He does. He does not die with 3. It would still take all 4, even though he's in reserve. Wow. Okay. But I think
Nobody
it's
would
just
play
because
Ghost
he's
Rider
brought
Reserve.
into the battle. Technically he's in reserve, but the reserve is in the battle
because of the event.
because of the event.
Or there are other cards that allow you to attack the reserve. I mean, Spawn has a 4 that you can attack the reserve if it's successful. You get
White
to keep
Queen's got a
attacking.
6.
Yeah, White Queen. There's a few. But Spawn specifically allows you to keep attacking if it's successful.
Okay. Wow. All right, Sean, you convinced me. But then why doesn't the +2 count? +2 to venture. I still say it's because they're not in the battle. And it only comes into play in the battle when that character is brought into the battle. So technically it's sitting back there
Right.
in a dormant state.
I would agree that she's not in the battle from reserve.
She says, I hope nobody is playing Ghost Rider in reserve.
Yeah, exactly.
100% agree with that.
But there could be an event that he gets flip-flopped back there. or
Maybe,
whatever, but-
yep, they could be flip-flopping him. All right. This one is for Howard. Howard wants to know why Beyonder doesn't have the ability to use a DS special and grab any teammate's non-1 per deck from the draw pile. The DS special is like Banshee. Banshee may go through draw pile and choose any one Banshee special and put in hand. What about Jubilee's inherent if she's in reserve? What's Jubilee's inherent? Can keep dupe voids. Oh, yes. Well, technically, yes, I would say so, huh? Because you have the opportunity to place one and hold one. Boy, this reserve hero's got to go. Why are we using reserve heroes? Let's just have a 4-man team. If you get attacked while reserve, are you in the battle now? Yes, you are. If you're being attacked while you're in reserve, you are in the battle. Yeah, wow. Okay, I can see why it's a little unclear. Interesting. All right, Beyonder should have the ability to use the DS and grab any teammate's non-OPD from the draw pile. Now they're saying because Beyonder has no specials, he can't go grab somebody else's special with that card because it says it's specifically that character's special. But there's no card that Beyonder plays that has his name on it. So I think he should absolutely be able to grab that DS special from Ghost Rider and go get a Ghost Rider special. Or from Banshee, go get a Banshee special. I don't see the difference in him playing that than playing a regular non-1 per deck. Well, we are lagging pretty badly here, Cameron.
Should we take a break?
Not yet. We can't because Sean wants to hear what Lambs to the Slaughter, and he's leaving in 4 minutes. So let's do this Beyonder. I think Beyonder should be able to go get it and play it just like he would any Ghost Rider special. Or
Yeah, I was always under the impression that he could. And then recently, Howard had a couple rulings that
I know the reason
went
for the
against
DS
him.
rolling. I just don't like it. Yeah, Howard, I agree with you. It's not consistent. It doesn't make sense. I agree with Howard, says Sean, for purpose of DS character should translate to special usable by said character.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, who's making these rulings? If Sean's agreeing with us on everything.
That was supposed to be the Legion rule, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was? That's what the Legion ruled way back. Norm?
I guess.
Norm? How do we get Norm on here? Is he
He
still
could
at
be a special.
WizKids?
He could be a special guest.
Yeah, I will reach out and see if I can get a hold of Norm and have him come on and explain why he made some of these rulings. Sean has 3 minutes. Sean, are you ready to discuss Lambs to the Slaughter? This one to me was very, very easy to say. All right, the question is, with Lambs to the Slaughter is in play, which is no venture, continue the battle with no venture, no conceding. If Maverick plays his card that says Maverick is no longer affected by events, can he then concede? So my question to you, and this is how I asked Phil. When you play the game, you have 4 characters. All 4 characters, you each play. Oh, we got to take a break.
2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes. I'm hurrying. You each place your cards. You decide your venture. I ventured 2. Phil ventures 1. So which character on Phil's team decides to concede the battle? The character doesn't decide to concede the battle. It's the opponent. So this event, it targets the opponent, not any character on the team. Therefore, Maverick can still not concede the battle. At no point in the game is Maverick able to concede a battle. It's the opponent. So it's just like target hero must discard 1 card, opponent must discard 1 card. 2 separate things. This is one of the events that targets the opponent, not any of the characters. So, Sean, we're going to take a quick break. If you want to put in the chat here your feelings on that, we'll be right back. We're going to try and see if we can come up with something on this lag time. Give us about 2 minutes. Thanks. Okay, we're back. Hopefully, we got rid of that lag. Let's see what happens here. All right, so Sean says with the event negator, you cannot just concede during a lamb's round, but you could play a special through the character to concede. Um, yeah, but that's not. I don't think that's because of his card where he's not affected by events. I think he could play that anyways, right?
He's saying you would put the Maverick card on a character, then you could see through the character. But we're thinking the character doesn't concede the battle.
Play. What's the any hero card? The
Fortress of Solitude.
Fortress of Solitude. Marcel asked if Magritte has his card out where he's not affected by events, and then plays Savage Land or use a Khazar activator to concede the battle.
Yeah, there's no missions being bet, so I don't know how Khazar's special could come into play.
Yeah, because Khazar's missions go
Specific
back to
says,
the
Yeah, pile ventured from and the opponent's advance is normal,
right.
but there are no missions.
The way I read the question on the Overpower Facebook page was, would Maverick be able to concede during Lambs to the Slaughter because he's not affected by events?
Right.
The simple answer to that, I would believe, is no, he could not. Could he play a card like Fortress
Right. That's
to
what they're
reset
asking.
him?
Right. Because it just says you can concede. The missions aren't affected either way. I mean, they're moving back to the piles. Technically, they were from because there was nothing out there.
And technically, then anyone could play Fortress. No, because
Not anybody. 'Cause
only someone not affected by events.
Right.
Okay, Marcel says touche on your point about Khazar, no ventures.
But I think the Fortress probably would work with that character.
You could play
Yes.
Fortress through that character and allow him to concede.
Right.
Allow the team to concede.
Right, because it's the team conceding with Fortress, not that character. And that character can play that special. It's a weird, tricky one.
I'm gonna still say no because it still targets the opponent, not a character.
I want to read Fortress.
Okay, go ahead and look up Fortress. So, Fortress. Fortress requires venture too, though, according to the card, right?
Yeah, you can't bet more than 2.
Can't. But the card says ventured missions return to piles ventured from.
Yes.
So I would say if Khazar's doesn't allow it, then neither will Fortress.
It just says play on your turn to concede. All missions ventured this battle return to the pile they were ventured from.
But there was no venture, which is
Right. Just allowing you to concede at that point
really just a secondary effect of the
of the first sentence. Right?
yeah. Hi, Chris.
That was a tough one.
Glad you could show up. All right, so Maverick cannot concede just because he's not affected by events. Maverick may be able to play a card that would allow him to concede, allow his team to concede. Maybe. I'm sure Sean will come back on and leave a message later.
I'm sure there's some sort of meta or errata for that.
Yeah, I don't think he can. But that's where I'm at on that one. Maverick, I don't believe, can just because he's not affected by events. Can Maverick then play a card that would allow him to concede? Definitely, maybe. I think he could play Fortress. Because, yeah, I would say he could play Fortress, even though there was no venture. I don't think that Fortress doesn't really require a venture. It just tells you what to do with the ventured missions.
Once the concede happens.
Right. Khazar's is just a little bit different because your opponent gets to move his up.
Yeah, his advance is normal.
Yeah, but you didn't venture any, so there's nothing to move up. So I would have to say Khazar's a no, Fortress yes. He could do it. What do you think?
I think it probably would work, yeah.
I got a car. Way to go, Chris. I'd come up for a Saturday. Chris, if you come up this Saturday, I'm going to be in Pittsburgh. How about a week from Saturday? No, don't come that weekend either.
You can come up. I'll be around.
That's Missouri. Yeah, you can come up this weekend and play play Phil and AJ.
Maybe Vlad.
Maybe Vlad will come down. Oh, wow, this is our last Saturday to play, and I'm going to be out of town because we don't have the room during MatsuriCon.
Uh-oh.
So,
We can play
event should override. Oh, Chris is saying the event overrides and keeps the specials from being played. All right, I'll side with Chris. I like Chris. No, I think Kazar's special was out because your opponent could not move his missions up because there was none ventured. Fortress, I think you could play Fortress at that point. Okay? That's what I'm going to go. That's my opinion.
I think that is right.
I don't get to make any rules.
So I guess Big John was right after all.
Who?
Big John.
What'd he say?
He said false, and then you said watch the show, tune in. He said false and no thanks.
Well, false that
That we weren't.
Maverick can't concede just because he's not affected by events.
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying false to. If it was the whole statement you made.
It says can't concede. All right, so let's move on to the next one. No specials event. That camera's turned off now, Phil. It's okay. Yeah, we're not going to use it. We're trying to cut down on the CPU and see if that happens. And guys, what's the value of the trophy for the cup? I will have to declare when I take it back to Toronto again. Again? Did he ever win the cup? He's never won the cup.
no,
What's this again crap?
No, he did win the first 2014 Open
I
Cup.
think he just bought it.
He went 10-0.
Oh, 10-0?
He beat Kefir in the finals.
Wow. Wow. Impressive. Okay. $50 American, $7 Canadian value.
Sounds about right.
uh,
Might be 30.
okay. Wow. Did we give out a physical cup this year? Did we give out a physical cup last year?
We haven't.
Yeah. Okay.
We probably should, though.
We did the first year, I think. I think Chris gave out a physical cup, didn't you, Chris?
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, I think he did. No special. Effective specials are not discarded. Okay. The current ruling is activators got to go. You don't have to discard affected specials. What about if somebody ventures 5 and you get to draw 3 cards? Do you have to discard any specials in the draw phase of that? Can you still
Activate.
bluff with them?
Yeah.
Activators, yes. The specials you can still hold.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still don't like the activator rule, but
Well, yeah, I don't either.
because the event was made before activators. But I get it. You can't read into the intention of what they were going to do.
Yeah, I think I don't like it. I don't like. Somebody played that against me a while back, and I only had to discard 1 activator, and they discarded 3. So,
Yeah, I mean, it works both ways.
Yeah, both teams.
I mean, it makes the any heroes better again.
Yeah.
'Cause now you can hold any hero specials.
Chris says, "Hey, activators are not specials. They are unplayable activators. They go." Thanks, Chris. I backed you up, but you're not going to back me up. All right. No, I agree. I can see it because they aren't specials. They just activate the specials.
Right.
So I understand. Bullseye. Everything's a weapon. What was the question on that? Because I didn't write it down.
They wanted to know if you could play that card simultaneously with another card, or if everything in a weapon has to be put in play first.
Oh, yeah. He wants to play one of his frontline teammates' specials
Or a power card,
or even a power card that he can't use.
right.
Should everything's a weapon be in play first? Oh, Chris says you should discard drawn specials too.
No.
I
They're
think
not-
you still
they're-
get to bluff with them.
Yeah, they said they're not affected. They're not
Not
discarded.
affected. Yeah, I think that continues over into the draw.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so everything's a weapon should have to be in play before he could play an unplayable card of his
Correct.
and not play the 2 together.
Right.
The Ray, and somebody else has a card play attacks face down.
Daredevil, Riddler.
Daredevil and Riddler. If you play their cards, their attacks face down, they're using a card that they can play.
Right. So
With
that's a
that
card
card.
that the Ray can specifically use.
So if you play play their cards face down, it has to be a card they can use. You can play them both at the same time. But if the attack is defended in any way, both cards go away.
Correct.
But you could play the Ray's card by itself. And then the next attack you
Play
make
one
face down. They defend that, you still continue to make face down attacks.
Correct. Unless they get rid of the initial special. Negate it after the fact.
Right.
Or
Okay.
ice man it. Or,
Yeah, but everything's a weapon has to be in play first before he can play a card that's not his. Or a power card that he's not eligible to play.
and I think that's why I got the different code. Is because Bullseye specifically says he can play cards that aren't playable by him.
Yeah. I think that's a good rule. So
They were kind of comparing that with the Professor X special. That the team's +2, you can play it defensively with another card.
oh,
But his specifically says,
it's still a
Professor X's
power
team.
card he can use too.
and it has to be a you cannot use Professor X's +2 with a card that would block it as a normal contribution anyway. So you can't defend a teamwork with a 6 power card and Professor X card just to get into play.
Right. That would make sense. Okay. I like that. That's fine. And the last one that I've got on here, somebody wants to know meta rules. I don't think we can have that because there are guys who will break the game. They will twist a meaning, a word around to mean something that wasn't intended, and you're playing cards with poor wording in a way that they weren't intended to be played.
And that's exactly why the meta rules came into effect. Is
Every
because
game-
people were doing that.
Yeah, every game has meta rules. I think that's better than just outright banning cards.
Right.
If you look at Yu-Gi-Oh, they ban a ton of cards.
Yeah, I think the problem is that you have to just have such a vast knowledge of the rules for the person that's brand new to the game. Just makes it tough on them to
Right.
try to
And
visualize and memorize everything.
everything will come back into focus when BMG releases some new cards. It'll bring everything. It'll be simplified. You won't have quite as much to learn to get started because there's not 9 sets or whatever.
Right. You have to go back and memorize.
Right. You just have to focus on that one set and then going forward. So eventually every game gets to be where you're going to play against cards you don't remember or you've never seen if you're new to the game.
Right.
That will happen. But right now, you got to have metas. I could just imagine some of the decks guys like Phil Keffer and Marcel would come up with. If they
Yeah,
could,
you have to have
yeah,
meta and errata.
yeah.
I mean, just look at the 4 freedoms
4 freedoms.
home base that we're looking at.
Yeah, you'd never be able to beat that
Vertigo.
team, I don't think. Vertigo was nasty with the X-Babies. Scott, Chris, and Miles perfected that. And you couldn't beat them unless you played the same deck, and then it came down to
Who drew better?
yeah. So you got to have metas, unfortunately, for a competitive game. Now, when you're just playing casual games, you can throw anything you want out the window and just have fun. As
Right.
long as both of you that are playing the game agree to it, why not? All right, that's all the rulings questions I had. Did you have any others?
I can't think of any others.
Reserve. Okay, yeah, we went over all mine. We'll go to the group chat and let Marcel ask a question because I know he's trying to break something right now because he thinks he's going to win the cup. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to have an episode of What Are the Odds for the Cup, but if we did, what are the odds the Cup stays right here in Columbus? Or what are the odds it stays right here in Ohio?
Or do they want to move to Cincinnati again?
Yeah, at Cincinnati, we got some people up north that
Oh.
think they might have a chance too.
Vlad would like to move it up.
Yeah.
Mole Man.
I'd take it home. Mole Man? What about Mole Man?
Howard just brought up Mole Man.
Oh, you know what? Outcast? Social
Yeah,
Outcast?
yeah.
Uh, what's the ruling on that?
That if you make the target character a social outcast is played on, so he typically would play on Beyonder, the social outcast,
Okay.
and then lock him out,
Oh,
or play an only strength attacks, or an only universe.
and
with
the
only
ruling
strength.
is if that happens,
Once you
you
have-
can then attack the other frontline
Once you have two
characters.
lockouts, it goes back to other characters. Correct. He doesn't like that ruling because he says you could still use your universe or strength attacks, even though you may not have any.
Oh, good. Okay, I like that thought. Let me think about that for just a second.
So
Um,
it was eroded that once you play only strength, if all you have left is strength, you can attack other characters
Or,
or something that's not strength.
wow. Oh, do you see? Howard says it stinks.
Yeah.
It does, but that's why we have metas.
He's just saying it's not a full lockout.
It's
So
not.
he's just saying it's not your fault that you only have something that's not strength.
If you can, right. If all you have is energy and fighting, you don't
Right.
have any strength.
Right.
Sucks to be you.
Right. That's his take on it. Which I can see that.
Yeah.
it's just like-
I'm leaning towards Howard's
I
view
mean, it's
on
just
that.
like acrobatics. If you don't have, a teamwork or
Acrobatics.
an ally, you can't attack that character.
Right.
But they're saying it's since it's because social outcasts and play with it. You're forced to attack that character.
But with acrobatics.
You're not forced to attack the character with acrobatics.
Yeah.
But if you get down to that only character, you are forced to attack that character.
And so they get it down to two characters,
Right. And you're forced to
and you
attack
lock them
beyond
both
that.
out.
Right. Then you just can't attack. Period. But
Um,
I hope they have a battle site where you can get some venture points.
all right, Howard, when you come into town for the cup, let's discuss that one.
Yeah, they're saying it's because social outcast is forcing you to attack Beyonder, and then you lock
and
them
then
out.
you say
Right.
you have to attack me, but only
But
under
only
these
with these
conditions.
Correct. So they're saying those conditions have been modified, so now you have another target to go after.
Wow.
That's the way it was ruled back in the day.
And it's probably a good rule. I think it's good. But Howard, I'll be willing to listen to your argument. There's a difference between cannot
attack.
attack versus having the ability to attack.
And I agree.
Yeah. Marcel's deck is locked and loaded.
Where's that
Um,
at? No.
locked and loaded.
What does that mean?
That-
Locked where? Locked up where?
Locked up in his head. No need. That ship has sailed. I just hate it. Okay, Howard. Yeah.
Yeah, he was playing a nice little Mole Man deck with Beyonder. And it was forcing you to attack, and then he would lock out with Storm's only strength.
Storm's only strength. I like that.
And they're saying once you get the two in play simultaneously or together, then you can go back and revert to Mole Man or the other character.
Okay. All right. You know what? Well, I'm going to, technically, as much as I dislike it, I think the ruling is correct. I would much rather play the lockout. I think it's legit. But at the same time, it kind of goes against the spirit of the game. You're telling me I have to attack you, and then you're telling me, but you can only attack me if you have this kind of an attack. Yeah. All right. Marcel wants to know what's your Lambo character you're using on your deck. Now, Marcel, what's the Lambo character on your deck? You tell us first.
I don't think I'm playing a Lambo character.
What? Oh, sorry, Marcel. He doesn't have one.
As of right now, I don't.
Oh. Yeah, you do.
No.
Yeah. What? The deck you're going to play tonight after the show?
No Lambo character.
Oh. Okay. How about you, Marcel? Do you have a Lambo character on your team, even though you're not in the Masters?
I had Starjammers, Marcel, but I removed him. But I may go back to him.
Really? Chris says acrobatics offensively.
Howard Secret Tech.
Well, the problem with playing it offensively is it can be negated.
Right.
But not that it can't be negated from the other side, but if they want to offensively negate your acrobatics, you have a chance to negate their negate.
Right. The only difference with that is you don't get to defend an attack,
Right.
so you're losing the venture value.
Yeah.
I feel like,
BMG.
but sometimes it's your only option.
BMG's going to put a code on the card, right? Whether it's offensive
No, I
or
don't.
defensive.
Oh, yes, they are. I don't
That'd
think
be
the
great.
actual code, though.
Yeah, it should.
Which I don't like that.
What?
I don't like that they're not going to have a code on there, I think they're technically possibly going to go away from battle sites, and in the way that we know them.
Oh, man. We got to get the guys on. Hey, speaking of BMG, we're trying really hard to get them on a live stream the Friday night of the Cup. I'm not sure the details yet.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're trying really hard. Joe is looking at the schedules when everybody's coming in. We're going to try and put something together. So, might be a little earlier in the day. It might not be Friday night. I might do it in the afternoon, 3 or 4 in the afternoon, which would actually be better before all the players start coming in here and things get a little rowdy. But hopefully, and they're going to answer all your questions as best they can with what we know right now. There are still some privileged information that they're not going to be able to give out. But hopefully they'll all 3 be here. I know Joe and Dave's
Joe
coming.
and Dave for sure. Not sure about Sean.
Okay.
So I know Sean's not. I'm not sure about Keith.
Okay, so we might have 3 of the 4. Got at least 2.
At least 2.
And I know that they would love to come on the show. We're trying to get them on individually or as a pair before or after the Cup, but we'll probably have a good shot at getting them on that Friday night of the Cup. So make sure if you're not here in Ohio, you're going to tune in Friday night, August 25th. Friday, August 25th. I don't know if it's going to be nighttime or daytime yet. We'll put that up on the website. Yeah, we'll put it up on the website too as soon as we can. What is that? Oh, Marcel still hasn't told us any of the characters on his team.
Marcel, do you have one?
Marcel, he ain't going to tell you nothing.
We got 5 minutes.
He's not going to let you know anything. And I wouldn't believe anything he put on there.
Nothing?
Nothing. Well, I believe him if he says he's going to use Morrow. Let's see. Marcel, I'm patiently waiting. Are you going to put Morrow on there? Another thing we got for the Cup, it looks like we're going to be able to have Overpower Adventures t-shirts, sweatshirts, and play mats available to purchase that weekend. The great thing about that is that money that we raise from selling those items is going to go to help us buy equipment for the podcast. Cameron, our great producer, is going back to teach school. He's only going to be with us for 1 more week. A lot of this equipment we're borrowing off of him, so we got to buy a whole lot of stuff. So if you can support us by buying the t-shirts, the sweatshirts, and the play mats, they're going to have the Overpower BMG logo, and it'll say Adventures underneath the words card game. So it'll say Overpower Card Game Adventures, just like that as an Overpower Adventures official licensed merchandise. Joe was supposed to send me that information today. He forgot, but I'll get with him. We got an artist who's going to come up with he's going to add the adventures to their logo, and we're going to have those printed up. So hopefully you guys will support us. We appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We are here every Monday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Give us a like and subscribe if you can. That would be great. We really appreciate it. 104 subscribers already. I'm thrilled with that number.
Nice.
Just wait till the BMG boys get this game back out to everybody. We're going to hit the road now, I guess. It looks like we're about done wrapping it up. Going to keep it right at that 1 hour mark, which is a good sign. Howard says, extra, extra large. You got it, buddy. You want a t-shirt or a sweatshirt? Being from Canada, you might want to go with the sweatshirt, huh? But we're going to have all of it for you guys when you get here. Kingpin himself may make an appearance. Somebody tell Marcel on the deck I was playing.
No, that's not a Lambo character.
Well,
so.
it's definitely not a Lambo, but you know he's not going to go with the Lambo. So, all right, guys, thanks for coming out and appreciate. Oh, Doug Taylor, thanks, guys. Thank you, Doug, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, Marcel. Thanks for pitching in on your opinions on these things. Always appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you guys in a week. Have a great week.
Yep. Take care, guys.
Yeah, bye.
Where did I go? Everything is different now. Took a while to figure out who I'm meant to be. Everything is changing now. I'm getting older, feeling down. Stuck floating in between